This is day 5 of 30-day articulation practice challenge. And for today, I would like to share and discuss the personal challenge that I faced and how it changed me. I would like to share my work experience at Wyndham Vacation. So, back in 2022, I was looking for different jobs and I was getting a little tired of serving job. And I've had some friends working in different industries. But particularly the one that caught my attention was several of my coworkers, ex-coworkers, who were working at Wyndham Vacations. And every single time when we talked, they were talking about how much money they were making, like plus $10,000 a month, and how easy their job is. They don't have to lift nothing. All they had to do was just to talk to people. And I was like, this sounds very interesting. You get paid by just talking to people. And I'm like, okay, sign me up. And I went for the job site and I applied for the job. I passed through 2 interviews and they hired me on spot. And after 3 weeks, they started the training. The training part was phenomenal because the trainer was an experienced guy and he did an amazing job at training us and having some hands-on experience. So he explained us how the human psychology works and how to sell. And at the same time, he did training with us one-on-one, how to talk to people and how to sell our product to the customers. And another really standout feature of the guy was the fact that he could make us laugh in a minute and he could be serious in the next minute and he could be sharing a heartwarming or heartbreaking story the next minute that makes you almost want to cry. And that was an inspiration for me that I wanted to, I guess, absorb as much and apply it in the sales field. So after 2 weeks of training, we went to the another job site where we would be actually working. And I started my first 2 days off with following somebody who have had some experience and see how they were treating and talking to customers. And I had a little bit of a grasp of it. And then the day came in and I had my first tour, meaning my first clients, the first potential buyers. And I guess I did so well, or it was just my luck, that I sold on my first tour. They bought the program. They became a member. I was so ecstatic. I was so energized. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be making 10, 15K a month. But guess what? The next month, I didn't make it. Not even one sale. They call it kiss of death. Because you make your first sale and your ego is so inflated that you're not willing to learn more stuff, or you just brush it off. I guess that's what happened to me, and I didn't make a sale for another month. But slowly I started making sales again, but there was another standout feature that I could not ignore. One of the first thing was the fact that there are hundreds of millions of people traveling every single year to different destinations in the US alone. And the timeshare industry has been there for over 35 years. But they don't even have 1 million subscribers yet, 1 million members. As far as I remember at the time, it was 870,000 members for 35, 40 years. And another observation that I had was once you sign the contract with timeshare industry, basically you saying that you purchased this timeshare, it would be extremely difficult for you to get out of that timeshare contract. And you would be having to make the payments every single month, at least $1,200 a year, even if you don't go on a vacation. And guess what? Getting out of the timeshare contract is way more difficult than getting in. You better hire some good lawyers and you be ready for your credit score to take a dip. And on top of that, there are some companies who claim that they will help you to get you out of your timeshare contract. But in reality, They're just scam. They just take your money and they don't do nothing. So that was another observation of mine. And the third observation was the fact that initially I was told that when you purchase a timeshare contract, when you buy a timeshare, you will be receiving a contract that's almost like a deed, and that will show you all your rights. But in reality, apparently, they just give you a certificate of ownership of points, and that's it. Whether you can travel or not travel, it's up to you. And more often than not, you cannot use those points because the times when you want to travel, the points necessary are going to be higher, and on top of that, all the rest of the people want to travel at the same time, so it's overbooked, and you cannot transfer, you cannot exchange it. So that was another quite an interesting observation of mine. And one more factor that made me quit was omitting, meaning that we had to put the timeshare in front of customers under the best light and omit the omit the facts that are bad about the timeshare. So basically, we'll be telling only the good stuff and skipping out the bad stuff. Even if they ask, we just had to kind of, I guess, maneuver our answers so that they will be more willing to buy the product. So that was another dilemma of mine because some people were saying that, yeah, because you have to make the sale, so maybe there are some times when you have to omit. But something inside of me thought of it as a lie, and I did not want to lie to make money because that is a sin, basically, for me. So after observing all these situations, all these disadvantages and cons of this timeshare industry, I quit because I didn't want to lose my sleep and I didn't want to sell my soul. I didn't want to sell my integrity for any price.